Okay, guys, we're gonna get started in like a minute or so. Um, I'm just waiting for Tanisha, and then we can start.
While we're waiting, if anyone is new, please fill out the form. She can send the form link, also in the Slack link. But please fill out the form if you're new and join the Slack if you haven't already. It's our the team Slack. So give me a second. I'll send the link. Join that Slack and put in your full last first investment.
Okay, I think we have 17 people. Tanisha's here, everyone's here. Okay. As always, make sure you turn your cameras on. Make sure, well, I guess Tanisha will be doing the attendance. The agenda for today is day 4 of Business Bootcamp. The agenda for today is we'll be going over digital media content. We'll be going over website. We're going to do a quick Kahoot to review the things we've done, the content we've gone over today and yesterday. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about public speaking, and we're finally gonna practice that public speaking by presenting our sponsorship projects. So this will be a little shorter than the other meetings we've had so far, but hopefully you guys learn a lot today. And let's begin. So Song, we'll start ahead. Oh, actually, we have a meme. When you're looking at new awards and there's no best meme award. Yeah. Okay. Song, you may begin.
Wait. Tanisha, can you send the form link? I can't find it for new people.
Attendance. I sent it in the chat.
No, I
There are new people here. I don't see any new names. What's up, Ishan? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, hi. I just pressed the button accidentally. My bad.
Oh, okay, sorry, no problem then. Are there new people here? I don't think so. Okay, so Akash, are we good then?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, then I'm just gonna start off by with a quick introduction of myself. You guys might have seen me around. My name is Song, and I am the digital media lead for 226 this year and the past year. And the screen just went black, but yeah. So today we're gonna be talking a little bit about digital media. I'm only gonna take like 10 minutes of your time, and hopefully I'm gonna get you guys inspired a little bit of what digital media is. In my opinion, it's better than any of the other subgroups. Like we're actually interesting, unlike writing up awards. Like those are lame. I love you, Akash. Anyways, just like the basic overview of digital media, we're basically gonna be responsible for all media throughout the team, and like while you guys will probably see digital media people like making videos most of their time, we actually have a lot more than just making videos. So anything from video posters, pictures, flyers, streaming to animation and UI design should be covered by digital media. That is to say that it always is. Other people like to take our job sometimes, especially if it's something like simpler. But those are our primary objectives. And because digital media is required in many different subgroups, we have a lot of opportunities and different projects. And I think that's one of the great things about digital media is that you can really let your creativity take in place. Um, Over the past couple of years, digital media has been kind of like a smaller team. By smaller, I mean myself. So, different couple of the initiatives that I kind of started and continued were Sherman's video, sponsorship video, hype video, careers in STEM, and this new idea that Tanisha came up with actually, and it's in the process of kind of like creating, and it's gonna be basically like a blog of a person in robotics team who's just gonna like take that and that, you know, film their day. So if you wanna continue to the next slide. Do you want to continue to the next slide?
You not see it?
Yeah, okay, no, wait, that's good. Okay, so the thing that you'll probably be doing the most in digital media is video editing, just because it is a skill set that's specific to us. You know, like you wouldn't really tell your marketing people to go edit a video. So in video editing is basically what we consider just layering different elements together and putting different clips together. And you'll kind of adjust all of those things to make a video. And can we go to the next slide? And some tasks that's involved in this includes color correction, where you actually get to mess around with the colors a little bit to make sure it looks good, really. That's the primary focus of color correction. Once you do get into a little bit more advanced stages, you guys can kind of manipulate it to give it a certain tone or a certain feel to the video. And yeah, if this sparks your interest, can we go next slide? Yeah, as we mentioned before, we do have a live stream series that's happening every 2 weeks, and yeah, that's called our Careers in STEM series. If you could go back to the other slide. And yeah, with this, you'll just be using like a software known as OBS, which is our open broadcast service or something, and where we'll kind of get a video call and we'll put different layers on top of it so that we could export it as a stream to YouTube. Furthermore, we also have animation, which you guys will actually see this particular project in the slides coming next. It's where you will actually create graphic from scratch and kind of have different elements moving around on top of footage or just the footage. Can we go to the next slide, please? Oh, yeah. So we also have UI UX design, and this was kind of a new thing that started last year because of our Global Innovation Challenge. But a lot of times when we're designing website, we'll kind of help out in terms of that. When we're designing an app, there was a specific challenge last year that required it, and we were helping out with those projects as well. So, and there's a lot of things you need to consider when designing a UI, such as like accessibility or like looks or, you know, functionality. So it is kind of a different field, but we have been trying to help and assist in those fields. If videos are not really your type, we also do a little bit of Photoshops and vector graphics. I'm personally not this one of my weak spots, so I'm not too involved in this part. But if you guys are interested, then you guys are more than welcome to start your own kind of like Photoshop initiative at this team. And next up, I think we should have filming. So I suck at filming. I hate filming, but one of the duties of a digital media lead is to kind of conduct all the filming, whether it's a competitions or a specific project. And what we'll do is we'll take a couple cameras and then we'll film. It's pretty self-explanatory. There are a couple of things that you need to kind of prepare before you're filming, such as like scripting or like path planning, or even like the settings of the camera. Those are pretty important. So to wrap the digital media part up, I have a video that was actually released like yesterday. You'll see like the different elements, like the animation and color correction that I was talking about. And we don't have to play the whole thing, but like maybe like the first minute, if you could. I'm just gonna be talking over it to briefly explain what it is.
You guys hear it?
We cannot.
You have to screen share with sound.
Yeah, I think it's an option when you start screen sharing. There's some button to click.
Hmm.
Happy to be here. All right, let's get started. Tell us about
So
where we are
that-
right now.
little lower third is actually an animation that we created.
Yeah, most of our members attend Troy High.
And this was like the bar chart that you guys saw us animate.
So would you consider yourself?
And if you guys notice, like the overall color of this video is like very vivid and like that, like it's very saturated. And we're kind of going for that.
How do you manage a team with over 100 members? So
yeah.
our team is.
If you want to stop the video there.
Business and engineering. Recently, we've also added new subjects.
Yeah, so you guys can watch it on your own time if you want to, but things like this is what we will do if you guys join digital media. Now I have to go to band, so I will see you guys soon, and hopefully, consider joining digital media. Thank you.
Nice. All right,
Yep,
next
thanks,
up.
definitely will.
Next up, we'll be going over some website stuff. Ethan?
Hey guys, I'm Ethan. I'm one of the website leads. I'm not able to turn on my camera right now because my Wi-Fi has been kind of lagging today. But the other one is also Arnav, but he can't join today because he has to do programming in a couple of hours. Next slide. So our website is essentially hammerhead226.org. As Arnav likes to describe it, it's basically the hub for all 226 activities to the public. So basically there you can find like a bunch of information about First and like the game this year, like activities on First history. And we also have some of our team history and structure, like our, like subgroups, information about those, links to our meetings. We have a lot of information about our sponsors and like our team photos and all those. And we also have all of our social media there. So like our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, where you can basically catch up with our daily activities and events. And we also have a lot of resources about TYR and team events, like our careers in STEM or anything else that pops up. So not only is the website available to the public, but it's also really important for our members because it includes like the links to all of our meetings and our like team calendar, so you can find out essentially what's going on and what's going to happen in the upcoming months. And essentially, basically, if you join website, you'll learn a lot about website development and something new that we're doing, which is content writing. We're gonna have like weekly blogs, maybe something like that. And yeah, hope you guys learned something about website. So this is how our new website is going to look like. We originally had another one with another design, but we decided to switch it up this year, update it, give it a brand new look. And as you can see, we have a lot of events there and our team history and our team social media. And we also have like a sponsorship page on the bottom. And yeah.
Yo, I got a question. That's pretty cool, but are you using like a different website to set up yours, like Wix or like Squarespace or something else like that? Or did you make that new website yourself?
So in the past, we used another more complicated type of system, but this year we're trying to make it more accessible to everyone on the team. So we're using WordPress.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is the old website that they're talking about. It looks kind of not so very modern. This has been our website for a long time, but Ethan and Arnav are working this year on making it look more clean and very spicy. So this is a demo of the front page that I just showed you guys. Anyway, so yeah, so that's website, that's digital media. As we mentioned earlier at the start of bootcamp, it's not like we're going to be splitting you guys up and each of you guys will be working on a specific subgroup. All of you guys will at some point get the opportunity to work on some videos or, as Ethan just mentioned, maybe work on content writing for the website. So that'll be down the road. We'll have tasks for all of you guys. But right now, we're actually going to just review all the different things that they talked about and the stuff that we talked about yesterday in sponsorship. So let's go on to Kahoot, everyone's favorite game.
Shree, you have a question in the chat.
Will we be sharing the project? Yes, at the end of the meeting. So after the Kahoot, we'll be going over some public speaking tips, and we'll want you guys to use some of those tips when you're presenting your project. And I did receive all the projects, so if you're worried about that, and I got all of them. Can you hear the music now? That's the most important part.
You get a
Is that everyone?
20% increase in skill by listening to the music. That's
Facts.
productive.
I think that's everyone. Oh, cool SMH. Okay. 6096688 if you aren't in already. If a cool is not number one, I'll be very disappointed. Okay, question number one. Which of the following is a benefit a business may receive by sponsoring Team 226? And key word here, something that the business receives, not something that our team receives. All right, cool. Tax reductions. No, we don't endorse child labor. They're not going to get free employees. And yeah, no, the software and money come to us. We don't give them software and money. All right, Ria, Anurag, Shamant, very nice. Which of the following is not a sponsor of Team 226? As of now. Ford, yep. So Denso and 3M are some of our biggest sponsors, and then Kelly Services is also on our sponsor. Question 3. What is the name of the 4K grant the team received last season? Yeah, it's the Diversity and Inclusion Grant. The Career and Technology Education Grant is something that the Department of Education gives people, but we did not receive that. Which of the following is a method we can use to retain sponsors? If everyone doesn't get this, I'll be disappointed because, like,
Dude, I didn't read all the options. I just read the first one and then clicked.
John, why do you do this to me? Did everyone do that? Everyone's slapping their
Some
head
people
for some
must have
reason.
done that. It couldn't have just.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's all the. Aniha has a streak. Okay, what benefit do we provide only our largest sponsors, our diamond tiered sponsors? This might be a little tricky. Hopefully you guys remember. Ooh. Yeah, it's logo on t-shirt. So I
The logo, like the biggest sponsor logo should be on the robots, right? I feel like robot is more important than t-shirt.
Yeah, but a lot more people see the t-shirt. Robot might like be bigger and stuff, but a lot more people like come to the pits and walk around and like see, like, because everyone's moving around and you have like 30 people at the competitions who's wearing our t-shirt versus just one robot. But yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. Okay, no.
No.
But yeah, these are the benefits on the left. Just once again, logo on t-shirts is like the best benefit we provide. Then logo on robots, And then on our 226 documentation, like our Impact magazine, we give them a whole page because if they come around to competitions, then they can just open it up and like read a whole page about your company. And then it's social media shout out and then logo on website. So no, not the question. Okay, next. Oof, that was a major upset. Question number 6. Which of the following is a project the Digital Media Group works on? Careers in STEM, Impact Magazine, 226 website, or branding standard?
The 226 website isn't wrong, but it's like not as much.
Yeah, essentially, because the website is primarily like work done by the website people.
Yeah.
And then Careers in STEM is a show that is all digital media mostly. Impact Magazine is something the award people work on. Branding standards is something marketing works on. Gosh, why do you keep smiling? Very sus. Imposter.
Yeah. Mm.
Somya is the highest climber. The Himalayas. Okay.
Did Miha lose her streak? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think so. RIP.
Major upset me.
True or false? The team website contains our robot's CAD and programming files.
I'll assume you guys are generous. No. You guys aren't generous.
We're not that generous. Well, we have a bunch of resources on our website. We have documentation on how teams can build their robot, program their robot, how they can make a business plan, whatever. But we're not gonna give them our code straight away. So,
Just ask him, cool. He'll give it to you.
yeah.
You gotta ask directly. Okay.
There are a
Yeah,
lot
if
of
you ask,
tutorials on our YouTube channel though.
Oh, okay.
if you ask nicely, we'll give it. If you say please, use your manners. True or false? The domain of the team website is 226hammerheads.net. You all saw me type this earlier, so SMH. Yeah, it's false. It's hammerhead226.org. Disappointment. I'm gonna figure out who got who those three were. Another high climber. Very good. Climbing mountains. What is the name of our live stream series? Zero answers. Everyone's thinking a lot. That took a while.
No, your thing is your screen's laggy, by the way. It's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Man.
All right.
So,
Careers in
whatever.
STEM.
There's not much you can do about it, I guess.
Careers in the STEM is the right answer, not careers in STEAM. We probably should
No
name
one
it
cares
careers in
about the
STEAM.
arts, bro. Get your own show, arts.
Nice. Yeah, we probably should name it careers in STEAM, but we haven't. So there you go. Observe with the streak.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Your
bi-weekly.
guess. Your guess. There we go. Let's
It's
go.
once every 2 weeks. Well, there's not much explaining I can do there. It's just once every 2 weeks. All right, and now our last question. Maybe we'll see some major upsets. We shall
Maybe.
see. Ria, Anihan, Anurag are in the lead. What do you describe the process where you adjust the colors in a video? If no one, if everyone better get.
I don't see anything. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, she.
Does anyone else see anything?
No.
Oh,
it's-
okay. Okay, got it. Got it. Shouldn't be too hard. What? Oh, it's lagging. Oh, I did. All right.
I'm just gonna, yeah,
Okay.
I guess my laptop's probably screwed up or something. Okay. All right. Well,
Wait, she rejoin the meeting. and with
All right.
No, I mean the
fair.
Kahoot's over. You would have to like redo it, I think.
Yeah. I'll just present. Do you guys see the top
Let's
people?
just, yeah, let's just say it, yeah. Fourth place, so close, so close. All right, good job.
Yay.
Good job.
You don't get candy, but yay. Cool. So we had Anurag won yesterday. Who else won yesterday? A third won yesterday.
No, I came fourth yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you were on the leaderboard yesterday as well. Cool. Good job, kids.
We'll remember that. We'll remember that.
No, yesterday it was Aniha, Samya, and Ria, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys, speak up. Who was on leaderboard
Yeah.
yesterday?
I was on there.
Nice.
I was second. I don't know who was first.
I was
didn't
first.
start that because I had internet issues.
Okay.
Yeah, the internet's not working.
Oh, Trisha. Okay, yeah.
What?
Thunderstorm.
You
Thunderstorm.
also. All right, cool.
Yo, guys, I have like a general question. Is it like during the regular school year, will we just be part of one team, or can we be in like two?
As in business and engineering, or just you mean
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one
Like
team?
if I wanted to be on fabrication and like media.
It'll be a bit harder during the general year because we'll be meeting at the same time. Like during boot camp, it's staggered so that you can attend both meetings. During the general year, during the season, we generally have everything during like 6 to 8. So it might be harder, but like yeah, we'll figure it out because we're still testing this program. Like we have only started doing the staggering thing during COVID, so we'll see what we can do.
And
Right.
we're really hoping to continue this format for a couple of months at least, because it doesn't look like Troy School District is going to let clubs in anytime soon in person.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with the Delta variant and everything. But it's good either way, because then you guys will get the exposure to both subgroups. But yeah, we'll keep you updated.
Cool. Okay. I realized I was connected to both my Ethernet and my Wi-Fi at the same time. I don't know if that does anything, so I just disconnected from my Wi-Fi. Hopefully it's not as laggy now, but now we're gonna present some stuff about public speaking. Akash, go ahead.
Wait, rejoin the meeting because your voice is still choppy.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
You want to screen share in the meantime?
We'll just wait for you, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Hello.
Welcome back.
Okay, bye.
I think yeah, it seems better.
Mayama Srivatsal. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I shall screen share now. And Akash, the public speaking god, begin.
All right. You should just full screen it.
Trust me, guys, he's the one you want to learn from.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So as Sri said before, we're gonna talk a little bit about public speaking, and hopefully you guys use that for your sponsorship presentation, as well as chairman's tryouts, other stuff coming in the future. So yeah. So just talking a little bit about public speaking in the real world. You guys already know this, but you'll use it a lot in the future, especially in job interviews where you'll be talking to your employer and you'll need these, key skills to get the job. talk about your key points and all that stuff. And then the second thing would be meetings and presentations, like we're in right now. This is a meeting and we're presenting something, so that's really important in that sense too. And you guys are gonna be doing this all throughout your high school career and beyond, especially in the workforce, where you're presenting your meetings to or your presentations to other employees or other employers, and you'll be talking a lot. Another thing which some of you may do is debating. In debating, public speaking is very important, and getting your point out there, especially, is another important thing. And with this, standing out is something I guess good public speakers do, in the sense that if you talk with the good public speaking skills and you can convey your point across better than other people, then you'll stand out obviously compared to other people who don't convey their point. And yeah. Go to the next slide, Chi.
Did it not work?
No. Okay, now
This is why I hate online. Do you not see public speaking and robotics?
Is there now? It took a good 10
okay.
seconds. Yeah.
Wow, that was late. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay, now speaking more about public speaking and robotics and what we need it for. So as I talked about before in my marketing presentation, talking to kids and parents at outreach events, this is really important. And we want to make sure we do that at every outreach event. And, public speaking is a key skill in this. When we want to talk about our team and what we do, what FIRST does, and what Team 226 is, we want to make sure that we have these public speaking skills in mind so that we can convey all our points, that we're a high school robotics team that, you're present. Okay, never mind. We're a high school robotics team. We're in FIRST, and, we're telling these kids that they should participate. We want to keep that all in mind. So another thing would be, this is very important in chairman's and engineering in EI presentations. The chairman's presentation, that whole kind of gist, public speaking is very important because there's different parts of it. There's speeches, there's impromptu speaking, and there's a lot of different parts of public speaking, and especially important impromptu speaking. This is where your public speaking skills really come to test, and your on the spot public speaking. That's like really important in chairman's and EI. So developing these skills and fostering them for chairman's and EI is very important. Talking to judges in competitions, this is another thing that's really important and could help us win these awards. If you talking to judges in competitions, making sure that whatever questions they come up and ask, making sure we're prepared to talk about it and talk about in a calm manner to make sure that we're knowing what we're saying. And we just want to make sure that when we talk to these judges, we want to make sure we say it in a concise manner, especially with words on the line and whatever it could be. So yeah. Another thing would be running outreach events. For this is more of talking to people on the phone, conveying your point, making sure they understand. For example, if they think we're trying to be a vendor, they're asking us to pay like $400, $300, or something like that. We want to make sure that we have to make sure that we are saying that we're not vendors. And wait, is it just in here? Or is the screen gray? No, is it just?
It looks all right to me.
Me, yeah.
Public speaking robots.
Okay, something's wrong. His screen for me is like going gray and what? Okay, I don't know. I'll just keep talking. But anyways, running outreach events, yeah, we want to make sure that we convey our main points, that we're not vendors, that we're a FIRST team, and that that type of stuff, so they understand the position, and so that we can get admittance into these events without paying, but being a FIRST team and stuff like that. So the main goal of all four of these bullet points and all of that is basically representing Team 226 and spreading FIRST and STEAM. That's the main point. As you can see, I bolded it there. That's the main point. Well, from what we're trying to do in public speaking, in robotics, we want to represent Team 226, and with that, and coming with that, we spread STEAM and FIRST. So yeah. All right, just some fundamentals about public speaking. Sri will go over some specifics later, and Chairman's presentation. Chairman's presenting.
But so the first thing you should have is self-confidence. You want to make sure that you go in there having confidence about what you're saying, about what you want to talk about, and making sure that you don't go in there knowing that you might do bad or thinking that you might do bad and stuff like that. Yeah. So another thing you want to keep in your mind is the audience. Whatever you're going to, whether it might be like you might be talking to elementary kids, you might be talking to middle schoolers or high schoolers. You want to keep that in mind, or to whoever you're talking to. It might as well be adults too, in chairman presenting. But you want to make sure you keep that in mind, because how you talk to people, it'll definitely differ from for each age set. So if you're talking to an elementary schooler, you wouldn't talk to them the same way you would to middle schoolers or high schoolers. You would use simple words, and you wouldn't really talk. I guess there would be differences in how you would talk to them. Yeah. So another thing is focusing your audience's attention. You want to make sure that either way, you have to keep your audience attention, making sure that they don't start looking somewhere else, start not paying attention, start looking at their phone or something like that. This is this can be done by eye contact. Eye contact is very important, and keeping eye contact, that will usually maintain their attention, especially looking at people who might be uninterested. Looking at them, then that might be helpful to maintain their or to retain their attention. For online, like for example, in these type of meetings, we really can't maintain eye contact with a couple of video screens. But the main point here, what we try to do is give Kahoots or questions, so that we're not talking for like 20 slides straight and stuff like that. Another important thing, establishing credibility. You just want to make sure you're going in there, establishing your credibility and making sure that you're talking like someone who knows their stuff, instead of being shy and timid, or maybe seeming like you don't know what you're talking about. That's just the main point of establishing credibility. Another thing, this is towards the end, after you're done speaking, you want to make sure that you create an overall message to your audience, and that there's something at the end which the audience understood, and making sure that they got something from the presentation, they learned something, or from your speech, that they got something out of it in general. So you want to make sure that you have that in mind. So whenever you're talking, you want to make sure that you get to an end point and having that message come across. That's just really important. So another thing is this is just general. Like, you want to make sure you obviously start strong and finish strong. This means that you know what you're talking about at the start, and if you know what you're talking about at the start, everything will flow well. And towards the end, you want to make sure that you have a good transition to the end from what you're talking about, and you want to end it in the best way possible, not just ending it randomly. You want to make sure that all the topics tie together and end in a proper manner. That's basically what you want to do when you start and finish. You want to start strong and finish strong. Yeah. So now Shri will talk about specifics and chairman presenting.
Cool. Do you see the slide? Yeah.
No, but I'm sure it'll come like 10 seconds later. Okay, yeah, it's here now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a public speaking god like Akash, so I don't know how I'm qualified, how how well qualified I am to talk about this. But yeah, let's go over some specifics of public speaking. So as Akash mentioned earlier, you're going to talk to different audiences, you're going to talk to different types of people, you're going to be at different events, and in different circumstances, and you have to adapt how you talk depending on where and who you are talking to. So diction, clarity, pacing, approach, these are all some things that you have to consider. Diction is basically how divided are my words? How am I making my words clear? Am I talking too fast? Am I talking too slow? Do they understand what I'm saying? So diction and clarity are basically you're making sure that the other person is understanding what you're saying. And this also plays into vocabulary. If you're talking to someone that's 5 years old, then you're not going to use big words like diction. I'm not going to go up to a 5-year-old and say, okay, whatever. So based on your audience, you have to adapt how you're talking. And pacing is also very important. Don't talk too fast. Avoid filler words. And a lot of these things are things that you can't like perfect, like for example myself, I probably said like 15 times in the last 5 minutes, but it's not about being perfect, it's not about being at your 100% in all these things, it's just about improving and making sure that the other person understands what you're saying. So diction, clarity, pacing, and try to avoid filler words, try to get straight to the point. As Akash mentioned earlier, try to be concise in your approach. Don't go on for too long if you know that you can convey what you want to in a short and concise manner. So those are some specifics. Now, hopefully you guys will see this slide in like a couple seconds. But now let's go over basics of chairman's presenting, because these are public speaking can be utilized everywhere. It's not just in robotics. You're going to use it in other clubs. You're going to use it in the professional world once you are employed, hopefully once you're employed. But in robotics, in awards, and in marketing, you want to use public speaking for chairman's presenting or for presenting at competitions in the pits. And so some of the things you'll have to consider are speeches, speaking impromptu. So as Akash mentioned earlier, you have to be able to come up with things on the spot based on your knowledge of the team already, and based on your knowledge of first, you have to answer judges' questions on the spot. And then just using visual aids and props and using hand gestures while you're talking, so that you don't bore your audience. So one of the things for speeches for chairman's presenting is that they are memorized. So a lot of times when you're saying a speech or when you're presenting, you're going to have to memorize large pieces of content, and they're usually longer than other. The speech is usually longer than other forms of speeches. So if you're giving a speech like for example right now, I guess this would be considered a speech, but chairman's presenting is like large pieces of content, like pages of content you have to memorize. So you have to prepare yourself for that. And impromptu speaking is also one of the things I just mentioned. During the chairman's presentation, there's 5 minutes of stuff that you're going to memorize, but there's also 5 minutes of stuff where judges will ask you random questions about your team, about robotics, and you have to pull together all the different knowledge that you have about all these different things, and then put it in a concise manner in the time given, so that the judges understand what you're trying to convey about robotics or about your team, etc. And yeah, as I mentioned, always use eye contact, always use visual aids, make sure that your audience is on board. And now impromptu. So how do you prepare for impromptu speaking? So preparation consists of first of all, obviously, you just need to know the content of what you're talking about. So one of the things, if you're taking a class in school, one of the things that you'll always learn is if you're writing an essay about a class, it's not really about your style of writing. The first thing that you have to do is always know your content. So you can't talk about robotics without knowing robotics. So you have to make sure that you read all of our team's documentation. You have to make sure that you know how the different parts of our robot work if you want to talk about those things. So the first thing is thinking about those main points, thinking about those main pieces of information. The second thing is then channeling it so that you can convey it concisely and you can bring out the main points that you want your audience to learn about. So if you're talking to judges, then you want them to know about your team's accomplishments. If they ask about the number of events you do, you need knowledge about what different types of events we do, and how many events we do, and etc. But you also want to bring out those main things like, oh, last week we did Adopt a Road, because we also care about helping out our community. So you want to talk about those specific things. And another thing is think before you're speaking. You don't want to say things that you don't want the judges to know, or you don't want to say things that people will think badly of. So think before you speak and connect different thoughts. You don't want to go from one place to another place that are completely irrelevant. And finally, this is something that people don't consider a lot, but you want to build off each other's answers. If there's a group of people answering a group of judges, then you want to work off of each other. If I bring up Troy Traffic Jam, for example, and Akash went to the Troy Traffic Jam and Akash is presenting with me, then he's going to say, oh yeah, I remember going to the Troy Traffic Jam and I love that experience because blah, blah, blah. So you want to build off of each other. And yeah, those are basically the core concepts of impromptu speaking, chairman's presenting, and public speaking in general. So hopefully you can use that in robotics, and hopefully you can use that in other things as well. So now we're going to use that when you guys are going to present your sponsorship projects. So I'm going to pull out. Also, actually, do you have any questions before I continue?
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that True mentioned that you guys have to know robotics and know everything that our team does before actually going on and then impromptuing something or being a chairman's presenter for that matter. And honestly, that just comes with experience and how long you've been on our team. But also, it comes with getting involved, asking questions. If you don't know the specifics of a certain event, ask, understand it. But the best way to do it is to actually attend it, because you get that real life direct experience, and then you can speak for yourselves and share your own experiences, right? So that just comes from being very involved, asking questions, and also, to be honest, when you started on our team. People who are freshmen right now gonna start on our robotics team, you guys are probably better at a better chance of being a chairman's presenter. But regardless, we look for experienced, strong, and articulate speakers. So I hope a lot of you guys end up trying out, and let us know if you guys have any questions. But those tryouts will be sometime in the fall, I believe. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah, let's go over the sponsorship newsletters that you guys worked on yesterday. Use some of the things that you just learned. Speak clearly, speak to us. Don't like look at your ceiling or whatever while talking to us. Show us your face, use hand gestures, use diction, use vocabulary, and explain your guys' project. So we'll start off with Somya's project, Somya's group. Either Somya present or someone else from that group present. But here you go.
Yeah, I can present. Okay, so basically we called our newsletter Shark Bites, kind of a play on words. And if you could scroll down, we started off with talking about our boot camp because that's one of our most recent events. And then on the side, we put all of our upcoming events, talking about like the general meetings, school reopening, the Autism Center event, and then the Michigan State Fair. And on the next page, if it'll load. We talked about Adopt a Road, and then one of our members who actually went to Adopt a Road wrote about it. And then we kind of have like the logo and some pictures. And on the bottom, we have like our sponsors and all of our social media stuff. Yeah.
Very cool. I like how, and this is a thing that all the other groups did. I like how you guys used some elements of our previous branding, like these blue bars at the top, but you also changed it up and made it look unique. So good job. And then I'll go over some more general comments at the end. Thank you, Soumya. Next group, I believe this is Ria's group. Someone from this group, please present.
Okay, yeah, so we just started it off. Our main colors were obviously blue, gray, and white, being those that are the Hammerheads colors. And then on our first page, we just talked about the boot camp and the Adopt a Road cleanup. And we included some photos from the boot camp from previous years. And we mentioned that they used to be in person, but currently are being held online. And yeah, just some photos from the Adopt a Road cleanup. And then we also included our future plans. So the weekly general meetings, reopened schools, and then the events we have planned coming up. So just some photos from classrooms and the events in previous years. And we talked about what we would like to do with those events and what we gain from them and how we're affecting the community by going to these events. And at the bottom, we also included all of our sponsors' logos and names and the contact information for the team.
Awesome, great job. And I like you guys put all of our sponsors. So we're recognizing everyone because this is, after all, a sponsorship newsletter. And finally, we have the last sponsorship newsletter. Shamant, you said you wanted to present this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, we have our sponsorship newsletter with like a big picture at the top showing our participation in the first robotics competition as well. So we can start that off with that picture. And then coming down to the boot camp, talking about how like we're transitioning from previous year's success to now preparing the new rookies to take on the same roles and do better. And really just the general information for that. And now onto the next page, we have our Adopt a Road. So Adopt a Road, like we talk about where we do it and what this gives us. So along with the team bonding experience, it's also helping tidy up the community and basically better the environment that we live in. And on the side, we just have a couple of like upcoming events and our main sponsors. And on the bottom is just our social media pages and a picture of the Adopt a Road.
Great. Yep. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I can totally see your guys' growth from the first project, from the awards project to now. Everyone's putting in a lot of effort into the design, the formatting. The content looks great. I had the chance to read some of these earlier. And actually, once we have all of you guys on the Slack workspace, I'll post all the projects that we've worked on over the past 3 days so you guys can read them. But hopefully, when we do create our sponsorship newsletter this year, our first annual sponsorship newsletter or monthly sponsorship newsletter, we'll try incorporating some of these designs, and we'll have you guys be working on this stuff. So yeah, great job, everybody. And that's pretty much the last thing that we have for today. We're gonna end a bit early today. Just going forward, tomorrow will be our last day of boot camp. Tomorrow we're going to do some sort of review. It will be kind of like a test, but not really. Don't stress out too much about it. It won't like really count for, like, we won't be dividing you guys into groups or anything based on your test scores, but it's just to check how much of the content that we've covered over the past 4 days you guys actually remember and can utilize. And then we'll also do a public speaking activity so you guys can practice some of the things that we covered today. Tanisha, do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So we have about a half an hour left before our general team meeting, so you guys can take a fun break, play some Mario Kart or something, do whatever you want. If you have any questions, ask us now, or we can meet you guys up again at 5.
I just sent the Slack invite link again. Please join that. Right. It's really important to be there, and some of you guys aren't in, so yeah, we want to make sure you guys are all in there.
Also, please look at the message Raga sent on team announcements. It's about Slack etiquette. Those are some rules that you have to follow if you want to be on the Slack workspace and if you want to stay on it. If you have any questions, just let me know. But the overall rule is not to put random stuff and irrelevant comments on the Slack. We appreciate questions and concerns, but please keep that to the subgroup specific channels instead of putting that on things like team general and team announcements. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, you guys are all good to go. I just wanted to add that you guys have been doing a great job with all your projects. Whenever you present them, I've been realizing that your public speaking skills and your writing skills and overall knowledge about your team has been growing, which is great. That's the whole goal of this whole thing. So I'm really excited to see where all you guys go and really excited to see what we all innovate together to come up with even better and more projects for this upcoming season. So thank you all so much for coming. And tomorrow will be our last day for the business boot camp. If you're also in programming, then you probably have another day. But yeah, it was very nice to get to know all of you, and hopefully we'll continue to learn more soon.
All right, thanks. Bye then.
Bye, guys. Good to go. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, cool.
Bye, cool.
Bye, cool.
Sure. Sure. Bye-bye. Guys, it's still recording.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is recorded, so we should probably leave.
Yeah, Tanisha, if they're here, I'll send it to you. But
I was gonna be like, I shouldn't say some stuff.
Yeah, you definitely said some stuff, Tanisha.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Mr. Two, if you're watching this.
Wait, Tanisha, go towards the end of day 3 recording.
No.
Wait, Tanisha, do you have Invisalign?
Oh.
No, actually, I'm not gonna show it on camera when it's being recorded.
What is this? You know how race is?
I told you they're clear.
Oh, they're clear? Okay, that's lame.
I can't even see them. Like if you're close to me, then you can probably see it, but like not online.
Wait.
So it's
How
good.
are they clear? What? How are they clear? I don't get this.
I got the clear ones because I'm a special case.
Oh, you didn't get the
guys.
Oh wow.
If you guys don't want to talk, we can just go to the general meeting link because that won't be recorded. I know.
No, everything's automatic recording.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
as soon as you join it.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I shall
yeah.
do. Farewell.
Um,
Adios.